Hey guys, welcome to Hobby Vault. Today we're going to be reviewing the Gundam F91, the first Gundam from Universal Century to be featured in a metal build line. Released in March of this year, it uses a combination of metal, plastic, and an etching technique to make this model look truly stunning. Let's go ahead and check it out, so you can determine whether you want to add him to your collection, or if you'd rather just save your money for a PG. Let's get started! Okay, so let's start with the box that you get here. It's actually a really pretty box. Mine's a bit beaten up, even though it's inside of a glass case in my hobby store, but that's okay. I like to collect the boxes, so that part kind of sucks. So I did get it from Hobbytown, if it's gonna focus here. And it's retail, it says $230, and my Hobbytown price was $214. Honestly, I thought that was a crazy deal considering how much I've seen them go for, but it has been sitting there for a while, and honestly, I'm not sure that a lot of people in my community even know what this is. So it's just kind of been sitting there because people would rather build kits, which is the downside to this. If you've never seen a metal kit before, you're not going to be building much of anything on it. You're going to be putting pieces on it, and it does have interchangeable pieces, but it's more for an artistic piece. In my opinion. I mean, it's still gorgeous, but if you're trying to determine if you want this over something you can build and you're just not sure what it is that you're looking at, this is why I'm doing this, so that you don't end up buying it and opening it. And most hobby stores, policy is that if you've opened the box, you can't return it. So just a little heads up, you will not be building anything in it. It does have removable parts and parts that you can customize, but just, be sure you know that part. And you know that you're getting a really expensive, basically just metal toy. So yeah, so first things first, here's the back, here's the artwork. It shows all the pieces, and what's really great about this kit is it's etched along with metal, which is why it's so gorgeous. If you look here, that gold is just as pretty as you'll see it, and it's really truly stunning. Now, the blast shield here, or the beam shield, not a big fan of it. When I picked it up, it's really flimsy, and we'll see that soon. But it's kind of neat that you can go ahead and get that too. Here it is, Gundam 91, sketched by, we have the artist here. I'm not going to try and butcher that name. It comes with a beam launcher. And yeah, so it's got all these extras. It has, alright, so the face here is pretty neat. It comes with 2 heads and 2 V-fins that you can go ahead and put on it. One of the faces opens completely up, which is showing right here. Come on, stop doing that. Sorry about the autofocus there. Alright, here we go. So, yeah, this face will open, which is really neat, and the other face does not open, but it comes with an interchangeable mask so that you can either have this look or this look, which is really cool. So you can change the heads, which I'll show that soon here. Its shoulder piece actually does extend out and come out, which is really, really neat too. They call it a radiator fin. Interesting. Going with the car theme here. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. It is a really pretty box. This doesn't have as much. It's kind of got a iridescent look to it, which is really cool. Again, here's the sides. Gundam F91. You can see that it's got the artwork, which is actually really cool. I didn't even see that. I almost feel like if I didn't like saving the boxes, cutting it off and putting it in an art piece or something, like a shadow box. But that's really cool. The metal build is, almost chrome looking, so you can see through it. It's got a mirror effect to it. Same thing with the top. Really, really pretty. My webcam. But yeah, and then same thing on the other side here. And then, again, a really cool art piece on the end. This is one of my favorite parts. I'm a sucker for metallics. So, when you open it here, the inside tongue is metallic and see-through, and then you got the special websites and everything where you could have pre-ordered it. I didn't pre-order it, obviously, but you can go ahead and I'll put the website down there in the bottom so that you can go and check out future releases and other metal builds. And then here's the front, the metal build in gold. And here you go, you have the model. Oh, I hate all the fingerprints on it. Anyways, yeah, and then it's got the Gundam F91 logo right here, and the logo from the movie. And of course Bandai and everything else. So that's pretty much the box. I'll show you the booklet next. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this booklet that you get here. We'll go through it really fast because, you know, we all want to see the model. Got the same artwork, or got artwork shown on the front, metal build, all that stuff. You have the specs for the actual F91 model here. If you can read that, good. If not, there's a translation online. It shows all the pieces and the etchings and its capabilities. Its variable speed beam rifle that it has. It has 3 of them on here, which you'll see here soon. It shows you all your extra parts and where you can put some of them. You know, here's the beam shield, got the cannon, the beam sabers, the V-fin. This piece right here goes on the back. It's really neat. It's got like vents and everything on it. The base is really cool. The base is pretty big, and I'm probably not going to use it, but it's really nice. Here's the different sets of hands that you're going to go ahead and get with it. And yeah, so there's more of what you can do with the head pieces. It shows you how the headpiece opens and the different pieces that you can go ahead and put on it, which I will show you here on the actual model. So yeah, let's see what else. It shows you its posability and its legs, which honestly mine's kind of stiff, so I've been trying to, you know, work it and get it to work a little bit better. But honestly, maybe stiff is better when you're trying to pose it. How many times have you done it on a plastic model and you can't get a piece to stay because the joints aren't good? So that's one problem this kit does not have. It doesn't do that. Here's the full kit without the rifles on its back. It does have one of the rifles on there, which is kind of cool. And then it shows you how the skirt opens up here. And you can put the beam sabers handles inside of its side piece here. And yeah, so we'll see that on the actual model. Its arms are pretty posable. They move completely around. One problem I do have when I'm doing this kit is those hands don't come off really easy. And that piece is plastic. So I try to be careful because I don't want it to break off, you know, because it is a metal build, and I would imagine it's not as easy to get the hands to replace for such a specific model, unless I could use other ones. But we'll check that out later. Maybe we can play around with that. So here's the different ways that it's one rifle that's smaller can go ahead and work. You can move the handles and everything to pose it different ways, the vents. Pretty much everything that you need to know about the weapons and the different ways that they open up. And the base, and showing the model here with the cannon on it and the rifles on the back. Yeah, so it's a really cool, sleek model. And then here's the back of it. If you wanted to see more of this, you know, I can make a video for the pamphlet, but I just figure you're here for the model, not the pamphlet. So yeah. Okay, let's check out the VSBRs, the variable speed beam rifles that are on his back here. I have one in its open position over here and one in its closed position. They're really sleek. They have the logo on the side, and you can see that when it actually moves around on the model on these little rails right here, you can actually move them all the way on the other side of the model. Here, let's get this beam rifle out of his hand, or beam saber. Talking too much about rifles. Anyways, and then you can bring him all the way over, and he can actually physically hold his rifle. I mean, I can go ahead, I'll pose him a different way later, so you can go ahead and see that. But that part's pretty cool. It does move. It is all on metal here, and it just looks really nice. I actually like the rifles on his back the best, but they just attach just like you would like a wing unit on a plastic model. This part is plastic, if you can go ahead and see that there. But yeah, that part's plastic, so there are plastic pieces on it mixed with the metal. So the railing is metal, but the piece that holds the rifle is plastic. So we'll go ahead and take that off too. At first, they went on pretty hard. You couldn't actually get them on, and I was afraid of breaking it. But that's just me being careful. But, yeah. So you just push it down, and then it's been easier ever since. So we'll go ahead and talk about the rifle here. It's actually really cool. Again, it is part plastic, part metal. This part is metal here. And its handle is also metal. But it's painted really, really well. It's really pretty. I held these for quite a while after I actually got the kit open. But yeah, so they're really neat to put on the back of it. And here you go. Let's talk about the back here. There's not a lot going on in the back, really. It does have these vents on the legs that do open and close, which is really cool. These pieces are metal, and as you can see, the frame that's exposed is completely metal. It's etched as well, which is really cool. As any other model does, the skirt moves. All sides do. The sides open up too. See, this is the problem. They're a little bit difficult to open if you want to be careful with them. But this side right here actually holds the beam saber's handles, and then it moves up and down if you want to, and then you just close it. The other side isn't as posable. It kind of just opens up, if I can get it to open. This one's very difficult. This is kind of the frustration of the model, because you don't want to sit and like just pull at it really, really hard. See, I'm having quite a hard time doing it. There we go. So it just opens up a bit. You can go ahead and put, there are little pieces that you can put inside, like this, that are actually really cool. They just go ahead and stick right in with that rectangle and circle shape. So you can make it look kind of neat with the vent open, and then you'll be able to see it, and it'll look a little bit less incomplete. The back, really cool. It's got all the library, the logos, and everything on it. Let me focus on that. Taking its time. But yeah, you can see the detail that they put into it, and you can see that the white is kind of pearl looking. It's actually really pretty. I mean, it is metal, so it's a little bit easier to do. Here's the back piece here, which I really like. It's one of my favorite parts. So it says Formula Project on it. My one problem that I have here, and I've heard a lot of people complain about this, is their paint job isn't the best. If you can see right there on the R part, the R is kind of chipped off, which kind of sucks. But you can see where they were trying to make it look sort of like a car, a Formula One car here. It's got, you know, like the wing set here. It's actually really cool though. While we're here, we'll go ahead and talk about its side pieces here. You can go ahead, well, they're closed here now, and then you just push them out, as you can hear. Let me put his hand down. And then it has little vents, and these are plastic as well. You just move them, and you can get any look that you need to get out of them. Pretty cool. Same thing with the other side, and it looks really neat. Then you just close them if you want to, and close them back. There you go. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the shoulder pieces here. You can see where it says F91. They also open up a bit so that it allows you for a little bit more posability of the arms, so it doesn't get in the way. So that part's really cool. The arms are decently posable. They actually have been moving way better than when I first got it, so that part's good. The hands move completely all the way around if they need to, or the arms do. Now, the hands are where I have a problem. They have several sets of hands. These are the two that I have now to be able to hold the rifle and the beam saber. Look like just regular hands that you would use on any model. The only difference, oh, actually no, I thought that was metal. That's not metal, that is plastic. But these are really cool. This is the problem that I've been having though. They don't come off easy. There's a fair amount of pressure that I'm trying to add to them to make them pull off. And then They just, you know, look like normal hands that you would have in any other model. And then, yeah, so that part I've had an issue with in changing the other hands that I have as well. This is cool. This will come off. And there it goes. Okay, now that I got the piece back, it went flying pretty far. So you can go ahead and put it back on. It works for both sides. I'm not going to go ahead and pull both sides, but you can pull both sides off and the pieces will come off. And then, yeah, you just have to put the hand back on, which has been, like I said, a source of problem for many people. Because you don't want to break it, because that part is plastic. It takes quite a bit of pressure. See what I mean? The only thing that happens is it pulls this part back, which you want to go ahead and put back on. And then try to get it on here. It took me quite a while last night to go ahead and get my piece on. But yeah, because you don't want to break it and you don't want to get that white stress mark on it. That part is not good. That would be my biggest negative about this model. And because they're so posable, you can't really get the piece that you need to get on straight. Literally what? Come on. There we go. Yeah, so as you can see, that part's quite a struggle. Not one of my favorite parts of it. But aside from the hand, you know, if you can look past that and you just get the set that you want, then I guess it's really not that bad. Look at that reflection though on it. I have to say the torso is my favorite part. Everything moves just like it would a regular model. I showed you the sides here, how they open up. Back, skirt, everything opens up so you can pose it. I don't even think, that's not even really doing it justice. That middle part here, let's see, yeah, see the gold reflecting? Maybe I can get a little bit more light here. So, as you can see, it's really, really pretty. Can't really get a good view on it, but it is quite gorgeous. The etching, the details, the vent details. Now this was one part that did kind of freak me out. The top part there looks like the paint chipped off, but it's not. It's supposed to be stylized like that. Right here, almost kind of looks like the hood of a car and the ornament. So once you get past that and realize that that's not a defect, it looks better. But yeah, the legs are beautiful. The feet pose just like they would in any other model. You have the logos and everything like that here, library, and then yeah, they just move like normal legs do. They are really, really detailed. You get to see the metal part, the metal frame part on it, and all the venting and the etching details that they're talking about. And its legs are really just beautiful. I usually like Gundam legs anyways, whether they're plastic or not. I just think they're the most intricate part of a Gundam. Everything else seems so small in comparison to the the magnetism that you have towards the giant legs. And then of course you got the paint job here. It looks like racing stripes, and its little knee pieces do move once you pose it. But they don't move all that much, but they do move a bit. But you have so much posability in the legs, it's insane. So if you want to go ahead and make him crouch, you can go ahead and do that. But yeah, so there's pretty much the model. It is gorgeous. I'm going to show you now the different head pieces and all the weapons that you get with it. And yeah, this right here is the piece that doesn't open up. You can take it off here. We'll take them off. I'm going to go ahead. You can take this whole piece off here, as you'll see in the other head that I'm about to show you. I'm just going to go ahead and take the head off because it's kind of a pain in the butt. There's a joint at the bottom that's square or rectangular, and it holds it in place, and then the neck stays there, which you get a neck and the piece that holds it on the other head as well, which I'll show you here in a second. But here's the standalone head. This one doesn't open like the other one, but you can change its face, which is a really cool part. So you just open them on the side like that, which is really cool. And then you have this little itty bitty tiny face mask piece to make it look more like the open version of the other mask that I'm about to show you here. It is very tiny, very hard to focus on. Come on. There we go. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and try and change that piece over for a second. Into here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna just take this piece off. Oh yeah, there's the V-fin. We'll take the V-fin off too. But this part, I'm not a big fan of doing. You just kind of pull it off and you get the little red piece there. And then you can change it to this one. You just set it right in, just like you would a regular plastic model. And then you close them up. And then you have what the open mask would look like. So then you do have a bunch of little pieces that you have to keep track of when you think about it. And you know how delicate V-fins are, they will break. So I'm being super careful with this one. This is not metal. This is plastic. So is a face piece. But the helmet is metal. It's just all the stuff, all the internals on the actual mask piece are plastic, but everything else is metal. And then here is the other one, which is probably the cooler mask. I like this, the one that I had on before, because you don't have to worry about, you know, transforming it or anything. But so he goes like this. Let's see if I can get him to work. He was working last night. As you can see, he opens. Well, he's supposed to open. Here, we'll open the sides. Oh, here's that piece I was telling you about. It is inside the model. Same thing with the neck piece. But you're supposed to be able, yeah. You go like that on his headpiece, and it opens it completely up and shows you the exposed mask that you can change in the other one, or you can close it. And then you close it all together. See, V-fin comes off super easy. They do give you two, so at least that part's good. But yeah, the V-fin comes off. I'm almost thinking about cementing that one down, which kind of sucks for how much you spend for the model. But yeah, there's the other head. Alright, let's talk about the extras that you get here. Look at all these hands. I'm not going to sit here and try and figure out which ones are left and right. But you get all these different hands. Some of them are closed. Some of them are open. This is a famous one that a lot of people use. One of my favorite hands. Then you get the ones, now these are cool. So these are for the rifles. And they're plastic, but they're movable enough. Kind of like the PC pieces on any build that you do for joint pieces. You just go ahead and slide the rifle into it. Here, I'll show you with the other rifle that you can get. So you just go like this. And you slide it in. And it's detailed enough that it even has the index finger. So it looks like it's actually firing. So while we're here, this is one of the other weapon pieces. This is the singular rifle that he can use in the front. This part, it moves like this way and this way, which I guess makes sense. If you're gonna go ahead and do him sideways like this, you can make him go like he's holding it, like that. That part's pretty neat. But yeah, so that's the other rifle that you get, aside from the other two that you saw earlier. But yeah, the hands, really cool. They just go on. They actually almost have a sheen on them that makes them look like metal, even though they're not. Pretty cool. So then you get two sets of the beam sabers as well. Yeah, they look green in this light. They kind of look yellow. Well, no, they look green. But the handles do come off, so you can put in the skirt piece like we were showing earlier. This is the part I don't like. This is the blast shield here. So it's got the piece to go on to that arm piece that we were looking at earlier. I went ahead and put something there so it didn't look so open, but you can put it here. But this is the part that I don't like. Because it is a metal build, like this is like flimsy plastic. It almost feels like it's gonna tear. I'm sure it's not that delicate, but it just feels like it could be bent and moved way too easy for my taste. So I'm not a big fan of putting this one on. I kind of use it in the background so it looks like it's leaning up against him. But yeah, it's not my favorite part of it. But yeah, so that's all the pieces. And then we have the base here. It says F91 on it. You have the logo and everything here. This is actually probably one of the nicest special bases I've seen in a long time. It's got something really cool where because you know the metal is so heavy, you just go ahead, you unlock this so that it free moves, and wherever you want it to go, you just set it there and then you close it, and now it won't move at all. And then it just, you know, connects here, and you can obviously take it off and you can move it any way that you need to, and it will expand a little bit here. So it's actually, you know, pretty basic, but really substantial piece. It is really pretty. I do like it. Usually on bases they'll have places for you to leave extra pieces like tucked in. I'm kind of disappointed that it didn't have like a system so where you can put like extra weapons that you're not using, or like a little box for the hands or something. So that may just be something that I do in the future. That did disappoint me when it comes to it. But yeah, there's the base, and that's the model, and that's pretty much it. I almost forgot about one of my favorite parts of the whole build here, as far as the extras go. This cannon is extremely detailed with everything. It is all plastic, but the gold bronze color at the top is so nice that it actually looks like it might possibly be like copper. But yeah, I can't believe I almost forgot this part. It's really big compared to the model, as you can see here. So it's quite a statement piece if you want to go ahead and model him with this giant cannon. So yeah, that's the other cannon that you get with it. So that's all the weapons. And that's it for Formula 91 Gundam. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see more pictures of him, I will be posting them on my social media in the link below. So you can check out, you know, better pictures of the build, see more of the capabilities that it has that don't really translate well on video. So just check out my social media, subscribe, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. So have a good day, guys. Thank you.
Multipass. Multipass.